Mortgage rates are an important part of what we do. So what drives mortgage rates? It's not the Fed. Okay, mortgage rates, and we need to know this, right? I bet you, if you know this, you'll probably know more than your mortgage professional in most cases. Mortgage rates are driven by inflation. That is the key. And we all know inflation's gone up, and in response, mortgage rates have gone up. So let's first define what is inflation. The definition of inflation is too many dollars chasing too few products. You've seen that happen in real estate. Too many buyers with dollars, so too many dollars, not enough inventory, too little product, prices go up or inflate. That's exactly what you're seeing right now. Supply and demand determines price. Let's not forget that. It's not just because prices have gone up. If prices go up, they could still go up if there's more demand than supply. It's that simple. So when we take a look at this, we understand that inflation is too many dollars chasing too few products. What we are experiencing right now is a huge run up in inflation. Inflation's gone from less than 1.5% year over year to now 8.6% year over year. And the Fed is charged with keeping inflation low. So they're kind of panicking. And what they're trying to do is slow down inflation by hiking interest rates. Okay. So when we look at inflation and we look at why it drives mortgage rates, here's the lens I want you to look through right now. I know a lot of times we'll look at it as the buyer, as the real estate agent or mortgage professional. Let's look at it through the lens of the investor, the lender who is now lending money. Imagine you're the one lending the money. If you're lending money and you're out there and you're saying, okay, imagine inflation was very low. You give me a loan, let's pick a number, say $400,000. Every month I give you a monthly payment of $2,000 a month. You get that check from me every month and you cash it and you go out and you buy a shopping list of goods and services. Next month, I give you another check. You get everything on that list again. But over time, you realize, hey, I can't get everything on that list. Why? Well, I'm sure you know the answer. It's because inflation makes the cost of things rise. And as those costs rise, you got to start leaving some things off the list. So what's really happening here? Inflation is eroding your buying power. You see, if you're receiving mortgage payments, you're receiving a fixed payment every month. So you're not adjusting it for inflation. So while it still says $2,000 on the check, it doesn't feel like $2,000. Now, when inflation is really low, like it has been, around 1%, it eats away very little of your buying power. So you could afford to charge interest rates that are pretty low. But now that inflation's risen, you're still in the business of issuing mortgages. You can't do anything about the mortgages you've granted already because those are done. But on the new mortgages that you're about to do, you say, hey, wait a minute. My buying power is going to erode more rapidly. I have to protect myself. What do? Well, you charge a higher rate. So now for that same $400,000 loan, instead of getting $2,000 a month, maybe you're getting $2,400, $2,500 a month, which now offsets that 8.6% rate of inflation, making the things that you could buy with that check go up in price more rapidly. So you are able to protect yourself. And that's why when inflation goes up, mortgage rates go up. Any long-term rate goes up. So when the Fed hikes rates, people are mistaken. They think that mortgage rates will go up. It is the exact opposite. When the Fed hikes rates, we're looking for mortgage rates to come down, and they've come down a lot. If you take a look from when the Fed did their last hike of 0.75%, mortgage rates came down. Why? Because if the market says, hey, well, the Fed's trying to fight inflation by raising short-term rates, that means that less dollars are out there chasing all these goods. What's inflation? Too many dollars chasing too few goods. So when the Fed hikes rates, what starts to happen? Well, by the end of this year, the Fed thinks they'll get to about 3.5% on what's called the Fed funds rate. It's at 1.5% now. If they're successful, then what you're going to see is an incentive now to save money. Before, when I went to the bank, I was getting 0.001% interest. Hey, if I'm getting 4% interest in the bank on my savings, maybe I will save a little bit more money. Might be worth it, right? Especially think about folks that are baby boomers that are looking for a safe outlet for their money. Also, it starts to make short-term money cost more. Not mortgages, but credit cards, car loans. You see car loan interest rates going up. Home equity lines of credit go up. Personal loans go up. And the big one is commercial loans. That business that's thinking about borrowing $400 million to build a factory or to acquire a company or to do a renovation. or to do an expansion. Whatever it is, when the Fed funds rate was at 0, well, maybe it made sense to borrow because maybe I might be paying 2%. But if that Fed funds rate gets up to 4% by the end of this year, or 3.5%, well, now I'm paying 6%. Whoa, on $300 million, maybe the econometrics on that don't make sense anymore. So this is what slows it down. Remember, credit, less borrowing, that's less money in the economy. And especially on credit, for every $18 out there, 17 is credit, 1 is cash. Isn't that amazing? So now when we take a look at the way our economy runs and what the Fed's trying to do, by hiking rates, the result is that mortgage rates come down. If you take a look back to Paul Volcker, when he was our Fed chair in the 80s, he took the Fed funds rate from 8.5% to get this 20% in 6 months, from 8.5% to 20%. Now, mortgage rates were at 18, they came down to 12. So he took the Fed funds rate 10.5 points, and the Fed funds rate dropped. The mortgage rates dropped by 6%. Alan Greenspan, he took the Fed funds rate in the late 90s up 2%, mortgage rates dropped 3%. So we will see mortgage rates drop. That's the good news.